for the shade, can't stop my light. MCM fit the body up nice. All black men's make a man look twice. Self-love, dope stay blessed and I think up above. You hear this? She thinks she the shit. Post take a flick. Yes, I'm full of it.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of the ProMama podcast, a podcast that focuses on women navigating career design and the motherhood journey. I am Felicia Johnson, mother of 2, your ProMama host. And today we have a good for you because I am interviewing the one and only Shirley Dor. Hi,
Hello.
Shirley.
Hi, everyone. Hey, girl. Hey.
All right, Shirley. So what I like to do is I like to have our guests share their ProMama stats. I do this for 2 reasons. I can easily read off your bio, but I feel like as women, as mothers, sometimes we have to reaffirm ourselves by saying the things out loud that we do. Like, you ever sat down to write a list of your accomplishments and you're like, oh, that's me? So this is a practice and an affirmation for you to share your ProMama stats. You tell me, before you get into who you are and your career and your amazing brand, tell us about how many kids you have, their age, and who you are as a ProMama.
So I am a new mom with a kiddo who's under 1. So she's a girl, my sweet little princess. I am a girl mom. It's so funny about being a girl mom. My close friends and I talk about how my firstborn being a girl is about healing my own personal mother wounds.
Yes.
Because it's going to force me to be the mom that I needed in my mother. And so I hold that badge of honor of being a girl mom so hard now. After being a mom for the last 8 months, I'm like, okay, I see why I'm a girl mom. I get it.
So you're a brand new mama. Oh,
I'm a brand new mama.
All right. And tell us about who you are as a ProMama and the career you're designing for yourself.
So I actually work for myself. I have been a full-time entrepreneur for the past 3 years. I am a social media strategist. I operate as the head of marketing for my agency, Dor Creative, now being transitioned into Gianna Digital. As the head of marketing, I kind of focus on all things like social, traditional, digital marketing strategies that support my clients, but also my agency.
Okay. Is this an exclusive? Did you just drop that for the first time here? Or
I
is something you
did. We are rebranding. I had a
You heard
5-year
it first.
plan. My company had a 5-year plan. When I first launched the company, I didn't really know what, where, when, why, how, because I am a child of Haitian parents. The only careers that we know is being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, and a nurse. I jumped into the agency life without any prior knowledge, and I knew that when I did come up with my agency name, that I was going to change it eventually. And so we've hit our 5-year mark. And so we are rebranding to a new, reframed, something that represents the 5 years of experience that we have, the knowledge that we have, and kind of honing in on what we truly believe is our expertise.
That's awesome. Now, I want to take the time out to thank you because I'll give a little background. I actually applied a cold application that I saw Shirley post, her marketing agency post for content creators. And at this time, I knew I love content. Clearly, I love creating. And I was doing things here and there for friends. And I said, you know what? Let me jump in and just see. And she hired me as a content creator. So I am an alumni. Dor. And I must say, you taught me so much, the guidance you gave on how to schedule content for clients, your expectations, things that I didn't think were needed. You put out a blueprint that for now, you gave me some free game because now I know, go on the platforms every day, engage with the community every day. These are things that I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense or why it's needed. So thank you for the opportunity. This is definitely a full circle moment. I am a mama too, so I was, trying to do too much. And at one point I was
Mm,
like,
too
let me
much.
scale back. I think what happened was I got promoted in my day job and then I had to
Yo,
scale
that's a
back.
lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thank you. And I reached out to you like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. And you're like, Tiffy, like, girl, I remember you.
Because one thing I'm not gonna do is forget someone. I'm not about to have nobody work with me and never remember. Absolutely not.
Yes, and I left on perfectly great terms. I gave notice. I gave great
Yeah.
content. I was doing
Yeah.
my thing, and I was so happy
Period.
to like work under you, and you showed me the ropes. So hopefully that's some forecasting of some work we could do together in the future. But today, you're helping supporting my new baby, Pro Mama. Thank you for being here again.
Of course.
All right, let's jump right into it. You talked about being of Haitian descent. So I see you not only as a businesswoman and entrepreneur, I see you as a leader in the Haitian community because you, one of the platforms you have is Haitians Who Blog, where you really
Hmm.
highlight and bring to the forefront the different things people in our community are doing. How does your how does our heritage, our Haitian background, influence the way you approach business and the way you parent?
Yeah. So, way I parent. One of the things that I pride myself 100% is being of Haitian descent. Right now that it is a very interesting political climate to see how people in the United States turn based on your ethnic background, especially if you are of Black ethnic backgrounds. And so how I decide to move as a business owner was actually guided by my culture. So whenever I created my agency, I knew that the Haitian side of me needed to be my unique selling proposition. And when you start a company and being Black founders who struggle with getting funding because they don't really like funding Black businesses,
Yeah.
you have to have that unique selling. Like, why exactly would I hire you over everybody else? And you're Black, so like, why Black instead of white, or why Black instead of Latino or Hispanic? When I had to think about that, my unique selling proposition is being Haitian. I speak two languages. I adapt to different cultural needs. I adapt to different ethnic experiences. I adapt to immigrant experiences. These are things that we have to consider when we're thinking about talking to different people. When we think about storytelling to people,
Yes.
we have to be mindful of the cultural aspect. And so that has been one of the things that have put me in the forefront when it comes to maybe our government contracts, where I'm like, yeah, you could go white, but does the white person know that there's a difference between a person born in Port-au-Prince versus one born in Oka? Do they know that there's actually different dialects across the country itself? And
Yeah.
similar to how you have the Bronx and you have Brooklyn and you have Queens, like the same likelihood is in Haiti. And so you can't be like, yeah, we're gonna make griot when in Okap they mainly eat seafood, right? So that guided how I operate just as a business professional in general, that I always had this thing in my mind that regardless of me being in a 1% of a specific industry, that I will always be unique because I have culture behind me. And so when
Absolutely.
I navigated into being a mother, I actually think that being Haitian just like opened up wider in a way, because I'm just like, girl, I'm already teaching my baby Creole. Okay. We're already
Yes.
reading the Haitian books, the Haitian
Yeah.
Creole books. Like, we're already listening to this chansonnette, which is like Haitian nursery rhymes. Like, my
Lullabies.
girl is going to come into this world with the same unique characteristics, and she's mixed, right? So she's African American and she's also Haitian American. So she's gonna have both the duality of being someone who has super pride in being a Black American in the United States whose family went through chattel slavery, and she's going to also have the mindset of the first liberated Black nation in her life. And I want that to be her unique selling proposition. And any child that I have moving forward, that's also going to be what makes them unique.
Awesome. So I could be an example of what that looks like. I was not born in Haiti. Both of my
Mhm,
parents were born in Haiti. I actually
mhm.
have never been to Haiti, but nobody could tell me I'm not Haitian.
Period.
I just mastered my coding the other day, and I was like, the ancestors was talking to me when I cooked. No one could tell me that. And I pride myself in, I grew up in a multi-generational household where my grandmother lived with us, my aunts, my uncles, my mom.
Likewise, everybody in the same house.
Everybody lived with us. So I had so much of the culture embedded every day. And when I think about it now, even though I speak Creole Moon Blanc, like I speak Creole like a white person, I still speak. So even if they make fun of me, I'm like, I don't care. I know how to communicate still.
Something I want every Haitian American to know that they broken Creole is a cultural milestone. It is not a negative thing. It is a
Right.
cultural milestone. It has shown you how ancestry has changed over
Change.
time. And more importantly, how there were certain things that your family had to do to provide a certain living experience for you. And the fact that you still have Haitian Creole a part of your life and it's just broken down based on your transition or the transition to being an American,
Yeah.
that there's power in that. There's power in the fact that you speak a broken Creole. There's power in the fact that you guys have gone from wherever your parents were, your grandparents, your great grandparents were. That differentiation and how you guys communicate is power in the generational changes. And so speaking broken Haitian Creole, in my opinion, is not a problem. It doesn't make sense for you to even be speaking Haitian Creole. It doesn't
Right.
make sense for you to even speak the language as proficiently as someone who was born and raised, who lived the entire it makes sense for you to have broken Haitian Creole because one, you're not born in
Yeah.
Haiti. You're born in America. Two, you're learning the language as you learn a second set of a language. And so it makes sense for those dialects that you're collecting in your mind to intertwine. So your Haitian Creole, your broken language, the how you speak it is a reminder of the work that has gone through your generational times to get here where you are in the United States, being able to tell that same story as a Haitian and American.
Now you affirming me on my
Mm,
podcast.
mm, mm, mm,
Thank
mm.
you. Thank you for that. But, I do want to say that I have the added advantage to living in New York, living in Brooklyn, basically little Haiti. So
Exactly.
I've been immersed in my community. Now I have two children of my own who are Haitian Jamaican. Again, they're lucky to live in Brooklyn, which is like, hey, we got both of our cultures here.
Come on.
And I'm glad you talked about like sharing the language. So even with that, I did the same thing. So I have half siblings that were born here and they don't know how to speak Creole at all. And I'm looking at my parents like that's your fault because I wasn't born in Haiti either, but it was still like they stopped trying basically. But with
Yeah,
my kids, I speak Creole and they're in a French immersion school because I'm like, you won't get this culture. And I do my best to look at all the resources. The internet is an amazing place. My
literally.
grandmother passed away 7 years ago, and my mom did not master all her Haitian dishes. But when I want to make a Haitian dish, when I can't remember something my grandma taught me, I go to YouTube, I be on the TikTok. I'm like, no one has an excuse. There's no excuse. Exactly. I'm like, oh, the ancestors. Awesome. All right. So let's talk about thank you for bringing up how you incorporate your culture into parenting. Do you feel like your culture impacts how you raise her in any other ways in terms of like, she's a baby, but in terms of like traditions, like you can't go outside with a hat, or if she has a cough, are you putting rubbing alcohol
Will
on her back? Le
will
Muscati.
admit, I will admit, I am very scientific.
Okay.
And being a researcher and like understanding numbers and values in biology. So because of my scientific side, I do a lot of discounting some of the Haitian perspectives. Like,
Mhm.
for example, the
Yeah.
again, la fouette.
They always have to have clothes on or they're gonna
And that,
freeze. And you're like,
yeah, so
"That's not how that works."
Scientifically, that's not how it works. Or you have to constantly do this so that
To
the kid
shape.
can have dimples. That's not how that works.
I must say the head shaping, because my mama did, babies' heads come out. So she was like, you gotta
Yeah,
put the hat and you gotta do
but
that.
that scientifically makes sense because
That cartilage,
the
it's soft.
the brain, or not the brain, but the head itself is in a state where it has to be formed. There's a
Yes.
pro and a con to the putting the hat. If you put the hat on, they're gonna shape into the
The
hat,
hat.
right?
Ooh.
And
Okay,
that's
we're
why
gonna go on science.
that's why they tell you to put the helmet, because the helmet will like keep it like this. So Haitians, they got it right. It's
Like,
just it's not too accurate.
all
So
right, all right.
I will say I do a lot of myth busting. Like, you got to put socks on your kid. No, we are humans. Humans
Be
need to
grounded.
touch the ground. Their feet
Mm-hmm.
need to feel the ground in order for them to learn how to walk. So, very different mama when it comes to that.
Okay.
Culturally, I will say my postpartum care, Haitian down.
Bufante or bath. You did a rap.
Haitian down. And I think one of the cons to postpartum that I often grieve about is like not having my mom here
Yeah.
to perform those rituals, because it has to be an elder and the person who raised you to make the experience feel more connected. And so I was very adamant about I called an aunt that I haven't, well, not because of us, but because of family dissolution. Because of family dissolution, I literally repaired a relationship with one of our aunts, because I was like, no, 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 no.
This for me.
She
Yeah.
has to boil it, not me. Me.
Mm-hmm. She has to pat your body.
It has to. If it's not, I'm not doing it.
Yes.
So
I get
that
it.
was an extreme priority for me. I wholeheartedly believe in our ancestral postpartum care. Like, I don't play about that. I'm like, whatever y'all say is the truth. The only thing I was really struggling with is the don't leave the house for 41 days or 41
Yeah.
days. But I was like, I mean, like in Haiti, you have the privilege to do
Right.
that, because
And
you'll
it's
have
probably
the
dated
support.
too. Like,
Right. You have the support, you have the care, you don't have to go, a
the
lot of women
village is
were not.
coming in to help you
Right,
so you can
right,
stay in
right.
bed
In the
or in
United
the
States,
house.
half my friends are 45 minutes away from me, so that's not a privilege that I have. But I think when it came to postpartum care, yeah, I was very adamant about the cultural understandings of how to care for a woman's body.
I love that. And just for
Yeah.
context for everyone who's listening, you guys can go down the rabbit hole of postpartum care in the Caribbean, across the diaspora, but it includes things to drink, a postpartum bath, how you wrap and bind your core, warm, nutritious meals to repair your
You're
body,
in you're
things you need to breastfeed to help with milk production. Like we got the knowledge.
you
So
got the
I'm
tea.
so
Yeah.
glad you were able to, and look at that, your child was able to be that reason to
That
create
I
that bridge. So
right.
you did raise something. I happen to know because you're also a content creator who
Mhm.
focuses on your community of Orlando and throughout Florida as
Mhm.
well. You have a full life. You talked about having friends 40 minutes away. How do
Mhm.
you take that time alone for yourself to like prioritize yourself in like wellness, nurturing relationships outside of your partnership and your child? What do you do in that space?
So let me first tell y'all, it is hard as hell. I had a conversation with a peer of mine and my best friend, and I was like, I now understand why our Haitian mothers didn't have friends. I get it. I get it because, it's not even imagining your mom, and you get it. Having to nurture a human, having to be present and active and connected with a partner,
Deep. Mm.
having to bridge relationships with friends, having to stay connected with family, man, that is a whole lot of work. That's a whole, like, it's just, that's a lot of work. And we only got 24 hours in a day.
The
So
logistics.
when I went into motherhood, I was like, I'm not going to do the thing that all mothers do. And this is just something that I pride myself on in general, like wellness, or I should say my holistic care of myself has always been around equilibrium, even before becoming a mom. So when I started my business and I was still operating and working as a psychotherapist, I had to have balance. When I transitioned from psychotherapy to full-time to content creator on top of being agency owner, I had to have balance. When I started getting more involved in the community and showing my face through community engagement, there had to be balance. So it was easy saying I need balance in motherhood. What I didn't expect is that I would need a lot more time to myself to feel the desire to be connected with other people. So, what I have done to still keep me connected to peers, for my friends, for example, FaceTime calls for 3 hours, baby, we got it. While I'm
Yes.
cleaning, while I'm cooking, while I'm just sitting on the couch, like if I can't see you, we can get on that phone.
Yes.
Texting, making sure that I'm adamant about replying to your interactions with me because I know that I'm not going to have the time to personally see you. We got it. At least having one plan a month with my closest friends so that we can see each other. If
Mm-hmm.
we got to plan in advance, we do. If we got to plan it the day of, we do.
Yep.
Making that a priority. And then the same goes across the board for like my partnership. I will say there's an added benefit. I was a therapist, so I have a lot of tools on my toolkit.
Once a therapist, you have the knowledge, girl. You
You're
you
right.
have
And
the
so it's like
info.
I have a lot of insider looks into like how you maintain relationships, especially when it comes to your partnership after having a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Having a child will put a dent in your relationship. It has no choice because you're both now prioritizing the well-being of a small human that knows nothing about life. But there are ways and strategies that you can try to connect with each other. And, one of my favorites is like a 5-minute check-in in between like what I'm doing in the house. And so I'll be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And or he'll be like, how did you like the album? Or what are you listening to now? It seems so strange because we live together. Like beyond like honestly, we could probably go an entire day focusing on the kid or focusing on work or focusing on business and completely forget each other. So that 5-minute check-in will literally make me stop or make him stop and like have us come together, whether that's for a hug or a little nose rub, like something
Mm-hmm.
that brings us intimately together without there having to be too much work. So that's like partnership, like making sure. And then we made it a priority every biweekly where we might need to move this to monthly. It's a moving target, but biweekly having a date night, whether that's the date being inside the home or the date being outside the home
Yes.
so that we can nurture our relationship while we're still nurturing the life of a kiddo. And then family, again, like for example, this morning or last night, and I was gonna forget. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. It's 11:30. I texted every single person in my family. Hi, Toto. How are you? Hi, Sfet. Hey, bro. I sent everybody a message and I said,
Yes.
whatever, anybody, whenever, however they reply.
Yes.
I check in. I want to see how you doing. We can hop on the phone if you like. But whenever someone comes up in my head, I'm like,
I love
right?
that.
None of the checking social media. I'm very like,
Mm-hmm.
how you doing? I don't need to go through stories or Facebook or Instagram to know that you're alive. I need to know from the phone.
Yeah, let's see.
And so as soon as it comes to mine, I shoot the message. And then if I don't hear from him for 3 days, it's fine. I still want to know how you're doing. Ask. If I don't hear from you, I'm gonna pick up the phone, I'm gonna call. And if I don't hear from you, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give you the chance to get back to me. And that's kind of like how I foster each layer of relationships.
Okay, you got this down to a science. Now, I did a
Yeah,
little bit of cheating. Well, I didn't. You shared it for the world. Anyone who needs to know, you are also doing YouTube vlogs where you're sharing about your journey. I don't know how often you post. However, I did see
we're
that you
trying.
were doing, listen, I know how it is. But one thing that I did see is like a hot girl walk, like something you're doing for yourself. Like, do you do
Hmm.
that with the baby? Do you do it alone? How
Hmm.
long? And is it from a place of prioritizing alone time, wellness, vanity? Like what is
Yeah.
the hot girl
So it's
walks for you?
it's it's like a threefold thing. So before I gave birth, doing walks was actually helping me lose weight. And I really wanted to, I was preparing my body for childbearing, for having a child. And then it ended up happening way sooner than I expected. Um,
Okay.
and so
You
in the
knew you had that
preparation,
intuition.
which is crazy because I didn't want it to happen yet. But it
You
happened. It
didn't,
is what it is.
however, the
How
plans.
hey, it was like, "Oh, you trying? We got you." So I took walks for the vanity of being able to no shade. There are certain clothes that I just want to wear. I just want to wear it. I want the back out. I want to put on a little Fendi dress, and Fendi only goes up to size 8. You like, hey, if I want the
Like,
Fendi dress, So for the vanity of being able to wear certain styles, I literally don't care about anything else. I saw an outfit, I wanted to wear it. I said, we need to lose weight. So the motivation behind wanting to prepare my body for having a child, but also being able to wear the things that I really want to wear, I would do these walks for like 2 hours. And it ended up becoming something that allowed me to actually escape everything. Like, I mean, everything, work, community engagement, volunteer, like everything just escaped. And it became a really strong and consistent habit of mine to where I would do it 4 times a week. So once I became pregnant, I didn't stop. I just kept working out. It just didn't disappear. And then, of course, once I got to the end of my pregnancy, I barely could breathe. And so then that's when I decided to slow down. And then, of course, postpartum, I had to be very mindful. Once I got to the point in my postpartum journey where it wasn't painful to walk,
Mhm.
I decided to re-implement the hot girl walk. And that became actually my only space to breathe. And so I would do it with baby, one, because it soothes her.
Yeah.
But then I would also make a priority for me to do it alone. So like last week, I went to the gym with her because it's too cold to be walking outside. So I went to the gym with her. We got on a treadmill. I strapped her in. She was my weighted vest, and I did a 45 walk. Right. And she had a time because she was outside the house and she had
Looking
a little beanie on.
around.
So yeah, it's been more like working out now has been more about restoring my body back to where it was pre-pregnancy, being able to like have a space to escape and not be constantly focused on career and motherhood. Like when I'm walking, it's just me, the Beats podcast, or a book that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
That's all that's there. Those are the three priorities. And then like sometimes I escape and I forget how long I'm walking. 45 minutes go by and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go back home. Like, so that's how walking has been super helpful for me.
That's great. That's great that you choosing you. You have a very full life. I know it doesn't take me to tell you that. You just told me the things you do to stay connected, how intentional you are about self, partner, and your community. What I would like to know with all of that, what is the reverse? What is your framework to knowing when to say no to things, to the outings, the career opportunities, offers?
Yeah, it's strict around here.
The no flies, you can say no.
One thing I want, if there's anything anyone needs to know about me, my no's are firm.
Okay.
Okay, they're firm. So again, like I want to say launching a business actually prepared me for how strong my boundaries are. Like when I got to the stage and point where professional life and my business were clashing, I was like, oh, God, I need to start saying no to things. And so my saying no started off with not working on weekends. Like very firm. Like if I'm working on weekends, it's admin stuff to make my day productive. And even then I'm not working. So like, no, that experience of saying I'm going to take Saturdays and Sundays off of my calendar. No one will be able to book those days. If someone messaged me and say, can we meet on Saturday? Having to look at my phone and just say, I know that I could possibly make money off of this, but I don't feel like it. Preparing myself for that has set the tone for anything that I do moving forward. So if I don't want to go to a party, I'm not going. If I don't want to go to someone's birthday celebration, hey, love you down, I'm not coming. Like, nothing has stopped me from saying my no. So I'm really like adamant about drawing boundaries with myself, especially since I can often because I want to make sure the people around me are happy, not people
Yeah.
pleasing, two different things. Because I want to make sure people are happy. I will give myself that I'll go for an hour just so that I can say, you know what, there are two sides of me. I'm a people person, I'm a giver, right? But I'm also someone that really wants to prioritize myself. And so I'll make the compromise. I would say I would collaborate with my mind in this process. So I'll collaborate. If I gotta go for an hour, I'll pull up for an hour and be like, all right, I gotta go. But like that decision making, it's very easy for me, especially considering the life transitions that I've had prior to becoming a mom.
Even as a mama too. Don't tell my partner this. I have a hard time of scaling back. I say a quick yes without thinking of logistics many
Oh
times,
my
which
gosh.
caused me to shoot myself in the foot. Like, how did I think I was gonna do so I'm trying to give space to my decisions, and it is something I'm working on in 2026. actually just said no to an opportunity because I didn't have the capacity or the time. And for a few minutes, I thought about it because in this economy, summer camp is expensive. I'm gonna tell you that from now. I was like, maybe if I took this, I could pay for camp and then this. And I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. So I'm learning. So it's
Her.
very refreshing to hear that you got this down to a science. I'm gonna re-listen and use you as motivation.
If anybody needs insight on how to draw boundaries with yourself, let me know.
Okay, that's a whole time. Okay, we might have to write that down. All right. I just wanted to ask you, as an entrepreneur, can you share the benefits for this life transition as an entrepreneur? Like, you don't got to answer to nobody. That's one benefit, I guess. But how do you feel that you being an entrepreneur is actually a good thing for being a mom, a new mom, and the
Mhm.
things that you are able to, do and not do?
Yeah. I think the main benefit to entrepreneurship and navigating motherhood is that work-life creative balance. My kid is not going to be in daycare anytime soon. She's 8. Well, she's now today 9 months. We're almost there. But yeah, she turned 9 months today, so she has, with gratitude that we've been able to provide this for her, has been able to stay at home with me and her father. And so we don't have to leave and drop her. She doesn't have to do anything. She stays home, right? And entrepreneurship has allowed that for me because I work from home, one. Two, a lot of the work that I do can be done physically, virtually. Like I don't need to see anyone in person. As a matter of fact, it's literally just a preference, not a requirement. And then because I work for myself, there's apparently a lot more grace from people when it comes to that. Like I can literally show up to a meeting. I had a session, it was a 90-minute session. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't seem unprofessional. But I got into the call and I said, hey, thank you guys for wanting to meet with me today. I have a little helper. From time to time, she'll join in on the call to give her own input on
I
how
love
we should
that.
manage your branding strategy. So whenever she does, we're going to take some time to, hear her input, and I'll kind of like give you feedback from what she says so that you can have a better understanding. She is going to be here for the duration of our session because I am solo parenting today, but I hope that's not an issue. And that framing of that is like, oh, that's fine. Yeah. Like that's cool. And so I don't think that could happen in the workplace. I don't think
Right.
I can go up to my boss and say, I'm going to have a little helper today. And, like it wouldn't work that way. But as an entrepreneur, there's so many people who are just like, no, we get it. Like you're home, you work for yourself. Of course your kid is with you, that kind of stuff. And then the flexibility around, like I can actually say to someone, hey, I cannot meet today because this is happening in my life and I won't be chastised for it because there's a lot more understanding, in my opinion, when someone knows that you are adamant and passionate about the work that you're doing versus someone who you're working for who just expects you to just get the job done. Like I don't care, right? Like there's more compassion when it comes to being an entrepreneur.
Love that. And I know sometimes when you don't bring a little helper, they're like, you didn't bring her
Where's the
today? Like,
baby?
where's the baby? Let me see. As a new mom, I'm sure you're used to people asking for the baby before they even ask how you're doing. So
Like
that happened.
we're not here for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to ask you, I'll be the devil's advocate a little bit. So on the reverse side, being a new mom, how do you stay focused on continuing to build your business, your brand, not staying in bed and cuddling on the cozy?
Hmm.
Maybe
Hmm.
sometime, my son is 7 and I still love to cuddle. I'm like, if I didn't have to go to work,
Every
my
day,
poor
every
Shavik,
day.
I was cuddle with my son. My son, I
My
would
son,
be
my son.
cuddled up with
Every
him.
day I just look at my man, I'd be like, is it time for me to be a stay-at-home mom yet? Like, let me know. Like,
I'm ready.
are we ready? Like, I still gotta work. Um, but no, like, I will say that there's a lot of times where I truly don't feel like doing the work because I have to be very present for my kiddo. But that brings in the flexibility of entrepreneurship. I operate like this is a 9 to 5. And I just told my job that I have to go part-time because I have
I
to
like
care for
that.
a kid, right? So technically in my business, I've gone part-time. And what that means is instead of working a full 30 hours to 30 to 40 hours a week, I've now dropped it down to like 20 hours. So there are literally, like yesterday, for example, is what I call it my power work day, where non-negotiable, I had to spend 8 hours working. Like there was non-negotiable 8 hours because Monday and Tuesday, because I got sick, when the baby got sick, there was no way I was going to work those 2 days. And so I lost 5 hours. And so there's the pickup where you have to, like
Yeah.
Saturday morning, for example, I'm gonna have to add a 4 hour shift to be able to function, to make sure the business is functional the following week. And I also have made it a priority to get support, right? So having an admin team has been one
Awesome.
of the greatest things that I've provided myself. This, like taking a pay cut to make other people support the business has been a huge help in this time for as long as it's going to be there, I guess. And so that's another thing that I think I've had to like prioritize.
I love how disciplined you are and how structured you are and how intentional you are because it takes a lot of discipline to not fall into I'm just gonna be in bed all day. I work home
Yeah.
from home a few days a week and I realized early that if I don't put on work, they laugh at me because I put on full work clothes. I said, because if I don't, my cabin, my bed is where I would be. If I do not act like I am in the office, my brain
Hmm.
is gonna be like, sweat? Okay, that means we're taking a nap.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's just
Right.
a few days a week. So, like, on the days that my kids are home when I'm working from home, I have to be like, guys, I am actually working. Like, mommy is at work. My door is closed. Like, I'll come out for lunchtime. I'll make the snacks because if I'm just sitting here, I'm in my dining room right now. They're
Hmm.
gonna just think I'm working for them all day, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm really working.
Yeah.
Shirley, I can't believe we're about to wrap up soon. The last question that I have before going into our Pro Mama Essentials is there one thing that you wish you knew about motherhood or before you knew before going into motherhood?
It's a really good question because I worked with kids from my teenage years till my mid 20s. I have a lot of experience with kids. And so motherhood feels like an extension of what I already know. Um, and so I know a lot. I know a lot about child development, not a lot about motherhood
But what
itself, like
about like
being a
even as
parent.
an entrepreneur or like
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm thinking, what is something I wish there are things I'm drawing a blank. There's a lot actually. Um, you know what? Something that I'm grappling with today. My gosh, being needed so freaking much. Like, bro, it doesn't stop. Like I'm constantly needed.
yeah.
I know I knew this because it just makes sense. But it just like it's like to my core now. Now I'm like, damn, this baby need me.
Responsible and need no for sure I can resonate with that because even physical touch sometimes I when I'm overstimulated when my kids touch me I like react and then they're like wait you don't want to hug me it's like no 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 it's not that I don't want to hug you mommy needs a second right now
It's just a little too much. Like
yeah
I'm just so used to only caring for myself. Like I'm one of those people. It actually may be strange because people think I'm so extroverted, and I am. Don't get me wrong. But I have this part of my identity where I love silence. I mean, like I have yappa yappa friends, and I will let them yap the entire time. I will not say a thing. And this could because of the therapist and like spending sessions and always listening, never talking, and always guiding people. But I love silence. Like I love just sitting there and just not like if I could hang out, if all my friends were all the same personality and we could just hang out and not talk for like 3 hours, it would be great. And so I don't get that at home with this baby. Until she sleep. Once she sleep, it's like silence. And she's a good sleeper. She sleep for 3 hours. So
we
I
like
take
that
full joy
we like that
in them 3 hours. Okay?
we like that.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. It sounds like you listen, in 8 months, you got a lot down pack. I like it. Start the book,
Yeah.
girl. I'm gonna buy it. Start the book. So your pro mama tip. What is your favorite parenting hack so far? Like how do you get her to sleep for 3 hours or anything else?
Don't know. Like we thought we started crib training, but she's crib trained now. And we thought that was never gonna happen. And we just one day she just went to sleep and she didn't wake up till 3 hours later and we're like, We did it. But what is my favorite parenting hack? It has to be around time. The whole like, no, this is hard because a lot of people can't commit to this. But this is a lot of laundry when you became a parent. Like it's a lot. It's like an overwhelming amount of laundry. So
Spoke about this, but go ahead.
like
I
I
want to
just
hear.
like
Do you have a hack? If you have a hack, let me know.
it's like, whoa, like, why am I always doing laundry? Like, I just eat, breathe, sleep laundry. So, my parenting hack for laundry, because I really want my weekends to myself, I do the washing of the laundry during the weekdays on weekdays. Like,
I like it.
and then Friday night is when I fold.
See,
And I
I was
have
gonna ask.
Saturday.
I said the washing is not the issue. It's the
It's the
3 to 5
folding.
business days
Yeah.
to fold and find a
Right.
space.
Right. So that's why it's washed during the week. Because on Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays, specifically Sundays, I'm not touching that laundry. I'm not folding nothing. It's not happening for real, for real. But Fridays, there's just something about a Friday. I don't know why. I don't know who told us that we should be doing Sunday resets. Friday resets,
That's it
that's
for you.
unpopular opinion. I think we need to reset on Friday.
I'll also give you a hack. I know you didn't ask for the advice, but I'm gonna
Yes,
give you
please tell
some
me.
mom advice. Keep a bag or a box for clothes that she outgrows because your laundry is gonna grow as she gets more clothes. But if you don't if you don't give away the stuff she outgrows or she has in abundance, you're gonna have too much laundry. So always keep a little box like in the closet or near the crib. So when
That's
you
so
try something
funny.
on and it don't fit, you just put it in the thing. And then
Girl,
once a
there's a
month you go
bag
put it.
on the floor right next to her.
Exactly.
I was like,
Exactly.
that's actually a really good hack because the first 5 months I wasn't doing that. And
Hmm.
as soon as we got to month 5, it was like every 2 weeks I had to get rid of clothes.
Yeah.
And
So
so
the
now
good
I'm
thing,
like,
like we do it seasonally, and my mother come and it works. We do barrels to Haiti. So she comes
"Grr."
and goes through the kid whole wardrobe, especially in the summer for
Mhm.
seasonal clothing. The kids have to try because now we're at the point where they got to try on. So they don't like it, but we
Mhm.
sit and that's how we set. Because if not, you're like, why can't I? I hate doing laundry because I hate trying to find a place for the clothes to go. But there's
Okay.
no more place for it to go because there's too much clothes. My laundry man asked me how many kids I got. I said 2. He said, no way. I said, I promise it's 2. He was like, they got too much
Jesus.
clothes. So yes, getting
Yeah.
rid of clothes. You'll learn that for toys. As new toys
Yeah.
come, new toys go. As new clothes come. So
That's a
you
good
heard it.
idea.
You heard it
Yeah.
from me.
I keep a bag.
Okay, self-care. You did tell us about your, yeah.
Yes, my go-to act is self-care now because it's cold. Ain't no walking outside. My go-to act for self-care now is, what is it? I take a long shower and then I put on a face mask or like the little like under eye mask and I stay in the
Uh-huh.
bathroom with music on with a glass of wine.
Like it. I like it. Do you
A
have
little
any
sunset.
favorite suds that you like? Or do you dabble in different soaps or you're like, I just need my wine and my
So,
long shower?
actually one of my favorite things is it's a little like capsule called Body Restore, and you turn on the shower, you make the water hot,
It's
and you
like a
put a little
mist.
tablet at the bottom of the tub, and it'll infuse the
Mm,
bathroom with
yes.
whatever it is, like lavender, eucalyptus, lemongrass. It is the best thing. You're getting yourself an at-home spa treatment when you
I
do it.
love it.
And that was on my registry. I put it on my
Good.
that was one of my
Exactly.
registry
I always
items.
tell people put things for themselves on the registry,
Mhm,
not just for babies.
mhm.
One of my favorite baby shower gifts is I give couple, if they're partnered, movie tickets. I also give manicure pedicure gift certificates because it's not all about the baby. You're gonna need
Yeah,
something
I was like, I don't
after.
know who y'all thought this was. Give me something, and it's cute. My friends actually intentionally did this themselves. Like I'm anti baby shower. I know it's so weird, but I just can't stand baby showers. Like kudos to everyone who loves a baby shower. I just be like, there's only so much poopy diapers that I want to like eat chocolate from. Like I'm done, right? And so I was
Non-traditional.
like, with my kid, we're not having a baby shower. I'm like, if y'all want to shower me, just send the funds
Send the fun.
or send the gifts. If you don't care, then don't do it. Like I'm not forcing anybody to do anything and I'm not spending money just to make y'all feel good about it. So my friends gave me a mommy shower. Like they basically had
I
like my
love
closest
that.
friends. And they came and someone was massaging my feet because it was swollen. And they showered me with like all the things that I love. Like someone gave me a gift set. I love scents. So one of my friends gave me a gift set of Sol de Janeiro. I have an eternity
Mm-hmm.
of Sol de Janeiro now. I have a gift
Nice.
card from Sephora that I'm so excited to finally use because I finally know like what I want to buy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Another person gave me like a basket of like Korean skincare because like my skin is
You
like
be
one of my favorite
glowing.
priorities.
Yes.
And so like
Cheek bones don't lie, girl.
if anyone wants to be as that intentional, I know everyone thinks about the baby, but that made me feel so loved. Like I was like, oh, you guys really like me. Oh my God.
We're gonna start a trend, but y'all heard it here first. Mommy
A
showers
mommy shower.
are better than baby showers. I agree. Give something for the mama. I give something for
Exactly.
the mama.
I carried that baby for 9 months. I don't know why y'all giving her gifts anyways.
I'm traumatized. Yes. Help me. Help me. All right. And last, your non-negotiable. What is your favorite non-negotiable when it comes to your career or motherhood?
I'm not gonna let that baby make me and my man like love each other. I'm so sorry. Like like you
My
came,
man.
you got here because of the love,
I was
okay?
here first.
You are a love child. So give me my man.
That note. What a better note to end with. I love that. Shirley, thank you so much for this. This was such a great conversation. We went from talk about the cultural importance of postpartum rituals to make sure you focus on your man, ladies. That baby, you were there first. Yes. To mommy showers where the mom gets showered with gifts.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is phenomenal. I hope this is not the last.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to share with everyone like the joy of this conversation. I feel like that 3-hour conversation you talk about you could have with your girlfriends, we could have had that today. We could have had that, but we on a structured timeline and I love that so much. Listen, hopefully whenever you guys make it to New York, I could visit and see that baby and we
Period.
could connect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.